Hello everybody and welcome back. Where was I? 6, 7. God damn it. It was not intended. A pound sterling, yes. Piling up my books into my bag, I catch a glimpse of the library books I'd borrowed last week. I might as well return them, considering they took all of 2 days to finish. I briefly considered inviting Hanako along to the library, but she's already gone. It'll probably be better for my studying if I am alone anyway. With a quick stretch and a wave to a couple of classmates who give the same to me, I make my way out of the classroom. Should the text be going that quickly or skip text speed? Why is it at the maximum? Okay, that's better. As I open my bag and shove the books through the return slot in the front counter, I notice a strange person behind the desk. Old and graying, she must be Yuko's replacement when she's working at the cafe. Can I see her? I begin looking for a free table, a task made somewhat difficult considering that despite there not being many students here, they are all sitting at their own tables. Noticing a familiar head of hair, I walk over to one near the braille section. It's hard to tell whether Lily is concentrating hard or not, her placid expression holding perfectly still as her finger slides across the dot-filled pages of her book. Hi. Mind if I sit here? Oh no, problem at all. She trails off, evidently still focused on her business at hand. Ah, Hisao. She gives a nod of greeting as I sit opposite her at the table. Pluck a chemistry textbook out of my bag and quickly jump to the chapter we're covering in class. I have never thought about it. Though I suppose it makes sense that school books will be also printed in braille, but will that have to be custom or... Anyways, for a while we sit there and read, each in our own way. Seeing her reminds me of what Kenji said this morning, though, that and the fact that I've never seen someone read in braille before makes me keep throwing glances at her. I kind of feel guilty about it, given that she has no way to realize I'm doing so I decide to just ask her about it. Her lineage isn't exactly a state secret after all, and there is another thing I've only just noticed from her movements. Hey Lily, mind if I ask a question? Not at all. Is anything wrong? I was just wondering. You are at least part foreign, right? She gives a small giggle before setting down her book. I've always been amused at how squeamish people are about that. Akira's mentioned how much she and I look different from most other before. The details are a bit complicated, but I'm half Japanese, half Scottish. Scottish? That was not exactly my first guess. It takes some effort to not blurt it out loud. Can I do a Scottish accent? Well, he says she doesn't have much of an accent, so I try to conjure images of the place in my mind. I think as far as the UK goes, Scotland isn't bad to live in, but I'm not really sure. It's bad if you're a native. My first guess of England was surprisingly close, at least geographically. That does leave another question though. But you have no accent. That's where the details begin. I was born and raised in Japan, despite my mother being foreign. Ah, I get it. Hold on. If she moved to the dorms simply due to Akira working longer hours, so they don't live near the school? She gives a small sigh, as if she didn't expect me to go any deeper. Was her previous frankness just a front? Not exactly. It's been a long time since we've actually met. I feel like I'm not getting the whole story, but I don't really want to go unduly prying into her situation. Her about face shows she feels kind of awkward about it. So, do you speak much English? To be honest, I don't know that much about Scotland, but at least I know that's the main language there. Scottish is a different language, right? Like, how much of the population speaks that? Is Welsh a different language too, or is it a completely different thing? It takes her a moment to collect herself, appreciating the changing topic. That's right, my family mostly used Japanese around the house when I was young, but I made sure Akira and I knew our Scottish side just as well. I'm fluent in the language, but I'm also studying it in school to keep my skills up and to have the qualifications on paper mainly. So you are bilingual. That's pretty impressive. I wouldn't go that far. Having parents who can speak the language is a large advantage, and English books in Braille aren't too hard to buy or import, with Chuko's help at least. There's a relatively high demand for local English teachers here anyway, which also helps give me some motivation to learn it well. Demand for English teachers. For a moment I wonder why she brought this up. You are planning to be an English teacher? She gives an enthusiastic nod. It must be nice, having such a definite future in mind. I've never really given much thought to mine, so I'm kind of envious. What's wrong? It's just... I could see you as a teacher pretty easily. It suits you. For a moment, she is speechless. She lowers her face a little and lets out a nervous giggle, something I've never seen her do before. With Lily's role as a class representative and her dependable nature, teaching does seem to be a line of work fitting her personality. Sorry, that was probably a little much. It is true though. Waving her hand in front of her face dismissively, she quickly recovers. It's not that, it's just that. Only one person's ever said that to me before. A short, somewhat awkward silence follows the discussion. Without knowing it, I ended up steering into a troublesome topic again. I should try to cheer her up a little. It was me who went and got her brooding, after all. Want to go grab lunch at the cafeteria after this? It might perk her up a bit, or at least take her mind off her apparently complicated family situation. Going by her smile, it seems to have the intended effect. I appreciate the thought, but the food there... Quite a quick redirection of the conversation. She does have a point though. The food there isn't the greatest. Maybe the Shanghai. We could ask Hanako if she wants to come as well. Ah? What is it? I almost forgot, until you reminded me. Hanako's birthday is coming up soon, and I was going to go shopping in the city for a present tomorrow. If that's an invitation, I'd be happy to accompany you. The ability to get more used to the layout of the city will probably be a good thing. I have barely set a foot in there, so I'd be hopelessly lost by myself. She gives a nod, signaling that she happily approves of this plan for Sunday. We eventually get back to our books, though before I begin reading again, I steal one last glance at her. Maybe I've been thinking on my situation too much. After all, everybody here will have their own unique circumstances. The chances to get outside and clear my head will probably do me good. Katawa, Shoujo. Bored of standing in place and watching the television in a shop window, I pull myself away from the tacky display with little effort. After living at Yamaku, the city seems like an entirely different world. No running in the house, calm and orderly, conduct is to be used at all times in the classrooms. Students are to exit rooms after checking both directions for oncomers. Elevators are reserved for movement-impaired students, single file on stairs. Compared to such strict, almost regimental standards, the city shopping arcade might as well be a strange country. While the school... the cars are so loud. While the school may have its fair share of hustle and bustle during the festival, the outside world is much different. It's strange, having lived in a metropolitan city before my accident, this should feel more natural than Yamaku and the surrounding town ever could. Yet it feels foreign. Somehow the elevated walkways and the tall buildings, each adorned with billboards taller than any three people, don't do anything to distract me from the passing crowd's reactions. Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder and the other holding her cane, which taps the ground with a metronome-like steadiness. Looking over to her, the neutral smile of hers still holds. Having only seen her in school uniform, I not have recognized her as she sat on a bench waiting for me to come. It's not for her cane popped up against it. My cat wants attention. Oh, come here, you. Okay, where was I? I'd not have recognized her as she sat on the bench waiting for me to come, if not for her cane propped up against it, and her distinctive hair. I can't tell whether they are glancing at her due to her height. Right, Japanese are really short in average. Her foreign looks, her obvious blindness, or all three. that any of those will make the situation any less uncomfortable than it is. Do you have any ideas of where to look first? He said. Her soft voice breaks me out of my line of thought. I can't imagine that she's failing to notice the attention she garners, but she seems unfazed by it. I get the feeling she's the type to enjoy walking outside, so she might be used to it by now. Not really. This is my first time in the city, so I've got no idea of where to go. She furrows her brow in thought, planning a route for us to take, and, come to think of it, a way to communicate it. Somehow, I've noticed in the time I've been with her is how, when deep in thought, she lacks close to any form of body language to show it. Her expression may change, but not hint of movement shows. She seems to have a little in the way of sweeping physical gestures in general though, so I've assumed it's part of her reserved nature. Is there a large electronics store near here? I take a quick look around, mostly finding clothing stores. After a few seconds, I notice a store with a bright blue sign, some distance away, that fits her description. Yeah, it's just a bit ahead of us. Should we go in that direction? Thankfully, it's just the information she needed. With a nod, we start off and head towards Lily's unknown destination. Landmarks being our guide. Here you go, 1 vanilla, 1 chocolate. I hand the money over the counter and take the cones to the railing that Lily's sitting on. I can't believe I let her trick me like this. She's not only led me to an ice cream stall, but also got me to buy her some. At least she gave me the money for hers. Sure enough, she's patiently waiting where I'd left her. I guess she was planning on making the day an event, rather than a simple shopping trip. I call out to her and slowly place the vanilla cone in her outstretched hands, being careful to make sure she has a good hold of it before letting go. At least her tastes are fairly normal. I was worried she'd ask for some weird flavor when she first asked. Here's the change. It's okay, keep it. I moved to protest, but realized the futility of doing so over such a small amount. I slipped a single coin, into my pocket, supplementing my meager allowance ever so slightly. Lydie shows no signs of wanting to get up, so I take a seat beside her and start eating my own ice cream. The summer's weather is nice. Hopefully it will hold out for a while. You too. I'm beginning to think I'm the only person who prefers winter. I contemplate her statement for a long moment. Yeah, I think you might be. It draws the intended reaction. She's cute when she's pouting. Still, I can't really imagine what's so good about winter. You can't go out without bundling up, and you still freeze anyways. I used to live further north, where there's plenty of snow to play in, so it's a little nostalgic. I don't like the heat very much either. At least you can wear a skirt, so don't complain about that. She gives an amused giggle as we both get back to finishing off our already melting cones. I idly sit and watch the crowds going by as we eat, catching bits and pieces of conversation. Looking to Lily, I see her dutifully licking her ice cream from the top downwards, blissfully unaware of the fact that it's beginning to melt. It's melting. Where? Down a bit? She lowers her mouth from the top of the cone, but has no idea of exactly where the ice cream is dripping. What follows is a game of guiding her left and right until she finally finds it. To any onlooker, it must seem absolutely bizarre. A girl with her eyes closed turning her cone over and over as the guy next to her gives her instructions. A strange variant of childhood blindfold games, maybe. In good time, we finally finish our treats. And while away the time and the conversing casually. Caught mid-sentence, Lily perks her head in her trademark manner. It's an unmistakable sign that something's caught her attention. Ah, where is it? Is Akira somewhere over there? I think I heard her. I raise an eyebrow as I look in the direction she's facing, somewhat doubtful of her ability to pick out Akira's lone voice in the dim. Sure enough though, a blonde girl in a suit can be seen through the tiny gaps between people walking every which way. I raise a hand and wave, trying to catch her attention. Sato! Hey, Sato! She stops in her tracks and looks towards me, evidently noticing my calls. As she does, I notice someone walking beside her. I can't get a good look at whoever it is, though, before the two begin walking towards where we are. As they reach us, Lily and I stand and dust ourselves off. Akira? Hey, you two! Wait, what? Why is the people? What happened to the people there? Are you a boy or a girl? Because I remember you being a boy, but... She nods towards me, a gesture which I quickly return. My gaze shifts towards the young girl next to her, and our eyes meet. As they do, Akira plops a hand onto her head, a move which doesn't seem to faze her. Hideaki. And what voice do I give? I don't believe we've met. I'm Hideaki. Pleased to meet you, Hisao. A guy's name, huh? Guess I just dodged a bullet there. He bows, somewhat restrained by Akira's hand being on his head. Oh, Hideaki's here too. Are you well? Akira's been taking very good care of me, thank you. Akira grins as if to affirm the point and rubs his head hard, dragging it around in a circular motion. His dreary face during this is somewhat amusing. Uncle's out on business again, so I'm just taking him around town for today. I'd have preferred to be spending the day on a date with my boyfriend though, but... Hideaki gives a cough to try and redirect Akira's thoughts. As he does, As he does though, I find mine wondering. They related? And further as first cousins? I suppose that explains why she is taking care of him in any case. Come to think of it, Hideaki, how did you know my name? Akira told me. Being a Yamaku student, I suppose you are disabled in some way? Not everyone in Yamaku is disabled, which I only learned a handful of days ago. I gave silent thanks to Shizune and Misha for their stream of information about how the school works. Because of them, I found out that since the school will accept practically anybody suffering from non-mental disabilities, it doesn't discriminate against healthy people either. It seems unlikely that many in good health will enroll there though. While the standard of education is pretty high, it is extremely isolated and very much focused on helping disabled students. You are dodging the question. Damn, he's sharp. Before I can say another word though, he decides to take a stab at it himself. If I were to call it myself, your heart? Akira looks mildly curiously at me. Her interest piqued as well. That sure was a lucky guess. How did you... You show no missing limbs or deformities, so external disabilities are out. Considering the lack of any strange mannerisms, it's also likely that you have any mental disability. But Yamaku doesn't take mentally disabled students. I know. Leaving that aside, the only possibility left is that of internal disabilities. I didn't know which one of you. I'm stuttering too much. End of episode. Bye.